can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the
Why
Boys
say no?
Watch,
Gabriel, leave.
an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Gray Productions. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie, and it was inauguration week. And to welcome back our dear leader into office, we decided to watch the 2006 comedy Idiocracy. Idiocracy was written by Mike Judge and Ethan Cohen and directed by Mike Judge. Idiocracy stars Luke Wilson, Maya Rudolph, Terry Crews, and Dax Shepard. Alongside me is the cuz. How we feeling this week? How we feeling this week?
Go away, I'm baiting.
And alongside the cuz and myself, good friend, co-host Ryan. Ryan, how we feeling?
Good. I just came back from a dinner at Buttfuckers. Robbie, how you feeling?
Good. Feeling good. Feeling great. Been a great week. Prize is back. It's better than that.
Nothing. Nothing's better than that. Wait, there is one thing better than that. It's subscribing and liking to all of our things.
Wow.
So, if you could, we would like it. It's been a trying week. Entertain yourself with all of our past episodes. Follow us, comment down below. Find us on Instagram. Let the Boys Watch Pod. Send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. And Benny, tell them where else.
Well, it's inauguration week, but it's also a hoodie week. And you would know that if you were subscribed to the YouTube. You could see us all in our very, very stylish hoodies. So go to YouTube, look up Let the Boys Watch, subscribe, click the bell. This way you never miss an episode. It pops up right on your homepage when we drop a new episode. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you hate. Tell us what you want us to watch. Follow on YouTube. Let the Boys Watch.
Also, please, I got a special gift for everybody. If you're looking to be pardoned, if you subscribe to this podcast, I will be handing out pardons to anybody that subscribes to this podcast, has committed felonies. January 6th, whatever you want to do, I'm pardoning people. So one like, one subscribe equals one pardon. So please.
There you go. You don't even have to have committed a crime. We'll pre-pardon you for whatever crime you want to
It's
commit.
true. There you go. Good job.
Yeah.
I guess why you're the smartest one here.
We'll give you the old Biden family pardon. Just blanket pre-pardons. But yeah, like Robbie said, we watched Idiocracy, satire by Mike Judge of Beavis and Butthead, Office Space fame, a number of other things. And I believe Robbie is the only one to not watch it. Is that correct?
That's true.
All right. I'm very curious what you think. Benny, I'm also curious what you think. I'm not sure how long it's been. But I don't know. Robbie, tell us just a little if you had heard of this before, if you wanted to see it, any history you might have had with it or whatever.
Well, no, I haven't, I didn't really hear about it back in the early 2000s, so I didn't really know too much about the movie. It's, and probably not something that I was really interested in to watch. The only thing that I've heard it brought up was, basically these past 9, 10 years, I guess, and the route that America is going towards and going down, and they kind of reference this movie, and people, like to joke and say that this movie Idiocracy is almost like a documentary, like truth and not actually satire. So I was intrigued to see how much it towed the line between fiction and reality. So I was excited to watch it. I heard a lot about it. Obviously, I know it's got a cult following, so I was definitely intrigued and excited to watch, especially seeing the way this country has gone this past decade.
Benny, what about you? What's your history with Idiocracy?
Yeah, so I did not see it when it first came out. I probably saw it, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago, something like that. And I think it was kind of a movie, which is rare for me, where it was just on, and I was like, all right, let's just kind of go with the flow and watch it. I didn't like seek it out or anything like that. Might have been like on HBO or something like that. So I remember watching it and kind of chuckling at all like the corporate logos and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was definitely political climate that we're in now, but definitely it was the seeds of that was there. So like not necessarily thinking it was full on like, oh yeah, this is a documentary, ha ha ha, but definitely like seeing how, we could have gotten to this point. Um, Spoiler alert, I did not remember as much of it as I thought I did. I obviously remember the broad strokes of the movie, but there was a lot here that I forgot about. But I remember enjoying it, obviously to the point where I figured we'd watch it at some point on this show just because of what was going on. But obviously we fast tracked it because of current events.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's surprising that you got it. Let me rephrase. It's not surprising that you guys didn't watch it because apparently this got like absolutely no release when it came out. It got no marketing because I forget which company, but they were not fans of the fact that Mike Judge made fun of, all the corporations, all the, political things and whatever. But I don't remember exactly when I saw it, but it was early um, on DVD, I believe, because again, it wasn't really in many theaters, but I liked Mike Judge. Sought it out because I liked Office Space. I liked the other things that he did. Um, and I'm curious what both of you think about it as a first time viewer and as someone who watched it but maybe didn't remember much because I haven't seen it in a number of years, but I always would think of it, when stupid stuff would go on in the news, and I'd be like, oh, President Camacho at it again. Um, and but watching it this time was interesting. I'll say I don't want to get too much into it because we'll do that in just a minute. Um, we'll also get into some segments. I'll do, favorite characters, least favorite scenes. We'll play some games later. But let's do some overall impressions and plum scores because I cannot wait to hear about this. Does anyone want to start?
I want to hear Robbie's first.
Yeah, Robbie, you want to start?
Sure. This movie was absolutely awful, dreadful. I absolutely hated this movie. It was a chore and a bore. I was actually angry for the first time. Not for the first time, but I was angry for the first time that I had to come do this podcast tonight because I didn't want to talk about this movie because I hated it that much. I thought it was terrible. I really did. I'm so mad that I spent $4 on this. Um, Awful. The worst movie I've ever saw in my life. The worst thing that these eyes have laid eyes on, and I've seen Benny try to catch a football. So let me tell you something right now. No, it was atrocious. It was atrocious. I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm sad for my eyes. I'm sad for the people who had to watch this movie. I'm sad that Maya Rudolph had to go through this movie. I love Maya Rudolph. I think she's a star, an absolute star of Fox. Um, she was the only thing, and Luke Wilson, and I don't know, Terry Crews with Camacho. That's great, but some scenes I think he was trying to be like sexual chocolate. So there was definitely something that was okay with his character, but just Luke Wilson and Dax Shepard. I was surprised how much about him, but anyway, I digress. Movie stunk. Hated it. Never watch it again. Awful. It's getting the lowest score that I ever had on this show, and it's gonna get the lowest score ever on this show. It stinks. It's gross. It's disgusting. I hate it. I absolutely. I think I hate Mike Judge now for the rest of my life because of what he put me through.
Wow.
Wow. I actually thought you were gonna like it. I really did.
I I knew
No.
Robbie was gonna hate the shit out of this movie.
I thought he was gonna like it because of where the country's at
Yeah.
and how we all kind of feel about it. Um, I like it. I mean, I'm never gonna like go out of my way to recommend it to anybody ever. It's just not that kind of movie. Like there's a bunch of trash movies that I like just because I don't know, I like somebody in it. It is funny though, hearing you say that you pretty much like the three people that are on screen like the most in the whole movie, but you still hate it. So that is an accomplishment. I think that's probably more of like Mike Judge's kind of Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill style that kind of was like this movie is kind of like it's not Office Space, but it's not his animation style, but it probably leans towards more of his animation comedy than it does like Office Space and things like that. Um, I'm good with not watching this movie probably for another decade and a half. I think it hit a little bit more closer to home now than I wanted it to. It's quick as hell. I mean, that definitely takes the sting out of it being like
Thank God.
you know, wearing out its welcome, or in your case, like just having to sludge through this thing. It's over pretty much as soon as it begins. And in that sense, I really don't feel like there's a lot of fat on it for as stupid as the movie it is. Like it's just boom, 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 and it's over. Like there's no the character needs to find himself. It's like, no, we're just getting through this thing. It's that, we talk about, I always think about Wedding Crashers, like a comedy movie that got so bogged down in the middle with like this whole love story that I was like, dude, just
Mhm.
let's just have fun. I was having so much fun. Now we're doing montages with sad songs in the middle of like, and I was watching them
We're
do
reading
shout.
"Don't Kill Yourself" books.
Yeah. But no, I like it. But I mean, if I had to name my top 50 movies, this probably wouldn't be on it, but still enjoyed it. It was good to watch after all these years.
Um, Robbie, I'm curious, have you ever seen Office Space, and do you like it?
I like Overspace. I don't like the Beavis and Butthead. I don't like the King of the Hill stuff. I don't that stuff never really. And there was never really a Beavis and Butthead guy growing up. Never really had any inkling or I didn't want to watch King of the Hill. I didn't like the main cartoon character, just shed to me. Um, no, I just think that I'm living this movie right now, right? We're all living this movie right now. It's sad how the corporation have taken over, and you just watch this inauguration and you just see the cult following, and it's insane, and it's scary to see where the country's actually gonna go. I know some people probably think that, oh, you're just being dramatic, but it's true. The way things are headed and where it's been headed for a long time, it's insane, and it's great how this movie captured that, but I still fucking hate the movie.
Ryan, what do you think this time?
I'm kind of leaning towards Robbie more so than you. But I'm kind of echoing what you're saying. I think the message is hilarious. I think there's a couple of funny scenes. I think it's um I guess you could call it somewhat pathetic, like where just the dumbing down of America or maybe the world. I don't know. It's kind of it it I also kind of think of like Wally at the same time. I don't know if you guys have seen that, where it's just like that's like even more advanced, where everyone's just a fat slob watching screens all day long. Um, but the movie is terrible. It's so bad. I haven't watched it in 10 years. Um, at least I think. I don't know. And I always remembered it fondly. So when we brought it up, I was like, yeah, that'll be a fun romp. It's with making fun of, our current climate and like everything like that. But watching it was not as enjoyable as I remembered. I still like it in a weird way. I still like think of it fondly, but I would never recommend it to anyone who's like never seen it before.
Or
I think
doesn't like that's just a straight up stupid movie.
right. Like when I was getting ready to watch it, my wife was like, "Do you think I'll like it?" And I was just like, "You will fucking hate this movie. There's no way you'll like this," because she doesn't really like satire, and like satire can be really good. And there are parts of this that are really good, but overall, as a movie, it's just not great. Like it's just an movie. And I love Office Space. I love King of the Hill. I love Beavis and Butthead. I'm not as big on, but those two are like top movie and one of my top animated shows. Like I love them both. So I was kind of shocked after this was over. I was like, wow. I did not remember like it being this way, but also I don't know, I was probably drunk watching it or something. Who knows?
Like Mike Judge was kind of very popular when I was just a little too young to understand it.
Hmm.
Like I like all the Beavis and Butthead stuff. Like I liked kind of because it was like there was a lot of like fart humor in it, but
Yeah.
there's also stuff that they were talking about where the jokes were completely over my head. And anytime they played a music video, I was like, I don't like this. I'm changing the channel. So I really think that Office Space is kind of my first and pretty much only Mike Judge thing that I really ever watched, kind of cognizant of what was going on. I never watched King of the Hill like Robbie. It was just one of those when I was, early teens, like I hated The Simpsons. I don't know why. I really never watched it. It was just one. It was, I don't know. It was just always in your face. Like so many people loved it. So like counter anything that was popular. So I lumped in King of the Hill with that. But with this movie, like I don't know, man. There's just a lot of like witty little things and like throwaway lines that I really picked up this time. There's just some stuff like the two buildings tied together was just
Yeah.
hilarious. Like it's just the dumbest solutions to all the problems that are going on. And like I don't know, it was more for me, not the storyline because obviously it's ridiculous and like I'm not there for that. But it was just kind of like trying to pick out all the little things going on in the background, like the world building and how stupid the people were, and everybody wearing Crocs, which completely unintentional, like prophecy, like like that was just the cheapest thing that they could find, and they just looked ridiculous, and it
Yep.
ended up being this thing that ended up taking off. So to me, like the devil was in like all the little details, like that's what really kept me enjoying this one. And I'm a sucker for Terry Crews, so I mean that like him being in this movie and pulling off the character that he did was just and just the parallels that people were making to him and Hulk Hogan at like the RNC. It's just like so yeah, that's why I enjoyed it. Like it's not the story or anything like that. I mean, I probably think that Luke Wilson kind of annoyed me in this movie. But still, there was a lot of little stuff in there that I enjoyed, the little details.
Was it because he talked like an F word?
Maybe.
Um, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of I laughed watching this, but it's just not a great film. That's
Yeah.
all.
No,
Like,
100%.
yeah,
100%. Like I said, you really have to enjoy stupid humor, and like toilet bowl stuff needs to make you laugh for this to kind of be like something that you're just entertained for an hour and 10 minutes or whatever. Like just
Yeah, I mean,
that
I love laughing at farts. Farts are the best. I always laugh at a fart, but I mean, I don't know. Something about this movie, I don't know. I didn't really latch onto.
I, ju- I forgot about that line, but the line that I opened up with the "go away a bait" and it's just like made me like die again. I was like, so stupid.
it just even before that lead up to Masturbation Network, and it's the dude with the fucking
One
ripped
big.
one arm and the regular other. This is a classic. It's funny when you talk about it with your friends, but when you're watching it, you're kind of like, eh.
Yeah, the,
Like,
the ideas are funny. They're
oh,
funny
funny.
ideas, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna sit here and be a critic about the movie, it's like this is just the dumbest stuff ever.
Yeah. This is not a movie that you can like pick apart because it's ridiculous to do so. Like, if everyone, as an example, everyone is that stupid in the future, how do they have literally anything? How do they have food? How do they have television? How do they have clothing? Like, who's making these things? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. AI? I have no idea.
probably there's probably like that behind the scenes elite, I guess. 10, 15 people that are just making money, like the Buttfuckers Corporation and Costco.
Yeah. All the Costco stuff was pretty funny as far as
Yeah,
like it just being a monolith and like him going to law school
law
there and
school.
shit.
It just reminded me of I'm like, this is just like big Justice and AJ double chunk chocolate cookie guys. This is what they predicted. Like it's
Yeah,
unbelievable. Like those
ask,
guys are famous and stuff like that.
ask the movie.
But it's funny. It's funny, and I don't want to say sad, but it's funny with the dumbed down and dumbification of America with social media and how everything's just gotten that way right now, where the attention spans are nowhere to be found and things like that. And so it's definitely crazy how much this came to fruition.
Yeah.
And we still got more time too.
Plenty of time to get even dumber.
Oh,
Yeah, only
please.
400 and what 76 5 years, 475 years till we get there.
We might get there sooner than that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some plum scores brought to you by Carl's Jr. Does anyone want to start?
We got to save Robbie for last. I'll go.
Yes.
Um, even though I enjoyed this movie, I'm giving it a low score because of all the things that we talked about, and just it is what it is. So I'm gonna give it a 6. I mean, it's just stupid comedy, but I enjoyed it. So if 5 is like that kind of line of me not liking something, it's more than that, but it's nothing that I'm willing to like overextend myself on and really like defend. So time spent, it's not well spent. It's not well spent. It was just time spent, and it wasn't that offensive to me.
Yeah. You're not overwhelmed or underwhelmed. You're just whelmed.
Well, I'm just whelmed.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if it was like 15 minutes longer, it would have probably been a different story.
Very possible. Yeah, I watched the Sunday night football game and then watched this and still had time to go to bed early.
Nice.
Like this. Um, I I wasn't sure what to give this movie. I think your score for me is probably more accurate, but I think in honor of this film, and because I did like it and I do like laughing about it, I'm gonna give it a 6.9 because it is the funniest number.
That is an appropriate score.
Yeah. Robbie?
Yeah, again, that how much I hate this movie, can't stand it. You know much about it. I don't got nothing good to say about it. I'll give 1.4 Maya Rudolph. I'll give 1 point for Dax Shepard, and I'll give quarters of a point for um Terry Crews and Luke Wilson. So I will go 2.5.
Ah,
I love it.
And it's not even a bit. I'd hate this movie. I'm not even trying to make a joke. That's how much I hate this movie. It's awful.
Hey,
Awful.
it's your score, babe.
yeah.
It's your score.
2025 is starting off like
With
Shingat's.
with 2.5.
I mean, the Prestige really, was a disappointment, and this movie was just absolutely atrocious. I was so upset that I wasted my time watching this, as short as it was.
Did the Wiz or anybody reach out to you about this movie? I know sometimes he gives you a little comment on the movie.
No,
No.
nothing. Thank God,
I
because I
mean,
probably wouldn't talk to him.
I mean, listen, we're so overrun with emails that we can't even talk about them on the show anymore. But I would like to get some emails and some comments about this one to see what people that have seen it think.
I guarantee whether people email us about it or not, I guarantee this is a film that someone has seen 15 years ago and thought it was hilarious at the time and is going to see some of our scores and be like, these guys are fucking morons. But it's
Yeah,
like, you haven't watched it in 10, 15 years. Like, it's your opinions, your perspective, your appreciation of film has changed. It has to have. If you have not evolved past then I feel sorry for you. But this is a perfect, it's so much funnier in your memory than it is in real life
yeah.
or in real time.
Like I said, the ideas are funny. Talking about it is funny. Uh, Dax Shepard getting off the couch and it being a toilet seat as well is funny. But when that's all on screen, you're like, what are we doing?
But that's Robbie mentioned it. I think we've talked about it, but Robbie mentioned it just recently in one of our episodes where it's like a lot of films from like our youth that were comedies are very much like this. Like we rewatched Austin Powers and we gave it high scores because we were dicking around, but like that's not really a great film either.
Yeah.
It's better than this for sure. But a lot of satires, a lot of comedies don't have long shelf lives.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to view it in that time period. Like there's not a lot like how I was with Christmas Vacation, man. Like seeing that for the first time, like almost maybe more than 40 years after it like was culturally relevant really is like it's just not going to hit. There's different, like even the style of comedy is different, not like, ooh, that's too edgy, or just comedy changes in that way, and what people find funny and like people's mannerisms is just it doesn't hold up.
It's true.
Wow. regardless. So all right, Plum Scores brought to you by Carl's Jr. Let's go
You get paid every
to,
time you say that, right?
of course. Come on. If you're so smart, how come you don't know that? Um, Robbie, since you hated this so much, what would you prefer to get out of the way first? Characters or scenes?
Oh, please, you should see my list. It's bare. Um, we can go characters first. It's not that many.
All right. We'll do favorite characters first. Robbie, I'll let you pick since the choices I'm sure are slim. So feel free to start.
Yeah, this is a surprise. I don't really like this guy. I'll go Dax Shepard as I don't even know the guy's name. I'm sorry, but I'll go Dax Shepard as Dax
Frito.
Shepard.
Frito,
Yeah,
Frito
I'll go
Bandito.
Dax. I go Frito as my favorite character. I just thought he was very. I thought he was very good. He was the bright spot for me in this movie. I really enjoyed his performance for being an absolute mush for brains and being a lunatic and thinking that the time machine was not an actual time machine but just a ride. So yeah, I'll give Dax Shepard my favorite actor.
I think Dax Shepard might actually be underrated. Like he's in a lot of bad stuff, but I've never seen him in something and be like, he stinks.
I don't know
I
what else
haven't
he's
seen
in.
enough.
I don't know. He's just got one of those faces that like you kind of want to just punch. He's
Yeah,
from Punked. Like that was his start. That's like when he really like came onto the map. Is he was friends
Really?
with Ashton Kutcher and like that's when he like his career kind of turned around. He did a lot of stuff on Punked.
Charmed, I'm sure. Gilfire's on Ashram Cushions. Punked.
Bronx.
Wilma Valderrama is
He was in
Wilma.
Parks and Rec for an episode. Always Sunny for an episode. I guess really he wasn't in a lot, but he's
Nah.
like so culturally relevant. I've just like heard him on Howard Stern a bunch of the times, and he's like seems like a pretty chill guy. So I don't know. Maybe I kind of have a soft spot for him for that reason.
He's married to what's her name?
Kristen Bell.
Yeah. I think he's gets a lot of fame for that.
Hey, good for him.
Yeah, hey, why not? Good for him.
Hey, congratulations.
Hey.
Ri- Ryan, favorite character?
Um, like I'm gonna go Maya Rudolph. Um, she was like I get what you're saying with Dax Shepard. Um, and I think some of the other characters, but like I feel like she was the only one I like sort of cared about, if that makes sense. Like everyone else, I was just like, if they died by a monster truck with a dildo on it, I wouldn't care. Um, I just like Maya Rudolph in general, and I
Who
mean,
doesn't? The
who
best.
doesn't? Yeah, of course. But she's a great artist, you know. You gotta love that.
She's versatile. She's fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic. And she's
Yeah,
married to
she's
friend. Sorry, she's married to friend of the program.
oh
PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Really?
really
Wow.
what a life! What a life! What a charmed life. Um,
Charmed, I'm sure.
give me yeah, I'm doing it. Give me Scarface as upgrade. What a what a guy. That pimp walk at the
Shout
end of the
out.
film
Shout
was
out.
enough to lock it in for me. This hoe better have my money. I'm gonna
What
find
was
this hoe.
the double D's for what? What was it? I forget.
Oh man, I forget.
Upgrade.
I mean, Luke Wilson really went from Tenenbaum's old school to this. Is that Slim Pickens?
I
I
don't
don't know,
know.
man. I guess like he's got a weird career.
He really
Yeah,
does.
Double D's for a double dose of pimping.
that's right. I think because um, you know, it was Mike Judge, he probably like this wasn't seen as like, well, he was in a couple of, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at his thing. Like,
I think he's just another one where because of old school, we just see him as like, he was such a, I'm sure, big part of our teenage years and like that movie just being so culturally relevant that he seems like a bigger deal than he probably was or ended up being.
I don't know. I mean, like Robbie said, he was in Royal Tenenbaums and he was fucking awesome in that movie. And then I'm looking at like the rest
But
of his
that's like
shit.
it.
That's it. So, but the thing that I want to bring up is like Wes Anderson, like always works with like a lot of the same people. And I don't think he's been in any other Wes Anderson things.
Yeah, he just like had that moment.
I think, I don't know, maybe they didn't get along or something or whatever.
I mean, it could have just been because Owen was so hot at that time that like
I don't know.
everybody kind of just like wanted a piece, or Owen got him into that movie or something like that.
But he was so good in it though. It's not like he got him in and he like shit the bed. He was like
Yeah,
maybe one of my favorite characters in that film. I
yeah.
mean, there's a lot of good characters in that film, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's a rough IMDb.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke, if you're listening, and you know that you probably are, come on the show.
Yeah. Tell us what's up.
Yeah, ask what's going on around here. Frank
Let
Richard,
me.
he was an Anchorman. I mean, come on.
I'll throw out an Ani Mensch, but give me Terry Crews as President Camacho. I mean, he should have
Obviously.
been my real pick, but I mean, fantastic from beginning to end. I know Robbie said he might have went a little bit overboard with this, but fantastic. When he takes the gun out in the House of Representing, just amazing.
No, I didn't say he went overboard. I said when he was in the House of Representing, he was getting a little sexual chocolate.
Yeah. I give
I don't
my
need
word.
yeah, I don't need you to bite off of sexual chocolate. I want you to do
Okay,
your own thing, come up with your own thing. That's the only, I love Terry Crews, but that was the only thing that annoyed me. That's why he gets a quarter of a point because that sexual chocolate, a blatant ripoff of
gotcha,
sexual
gotcha.
chocolate.
Um, I just love when he meets Luke Wilson for the first time. He's like, "You're the smart guy," and he's like, "Your head's so little."
Yeah. So you'd have a bigger head. I love the with him when they're riding in the big motorcycle and he's just the way he says he's just like I'll get a pardon. He's like fuck yeah. Now give me a beer. And the way he just snaps. Shit.
uh,
Yeah.
Terry
No, this is
Crews come on the show.
he's I love him in
Oh,
this film.
please.
He's good in this film. He's good just in general. He seems like a funny dude.
Yeah.
I got an Ani Mensch. I'm gonna go with what the hell's his name? David Herman as the Secretary of State. Um, also Michael Bolton from Office Space, but
Oh,
I don't know.
please,
He's
goodbye.
just funny. He's the Carl's Jr. guy.
Yeah.
Michael Bolton? Are you related to that singer guy?
Robbie, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you don't have an Ani Mensch for this one.
Quick, a little short one, Justin Long. I do enjoy Justin Long a little bit
He
here
was
and there,
funny too.
but him
I
as a
thought you would have
doctor was
hated him
good.
the most.
No, I like Justin Long.
All right.
I like him.
Okay. I
Not
like how
bad.
those cigarettes were like so thick.
I don't want to
I'm
be a
trying to.
dick, but your chart says you're all fucked up.
It's just
I'm
like,
trying to think.
you know.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm trying to think where this guy, where he's played in, the like the yuppie husband
Oh
in the
yeah,
beginning.
he's always
Or maybe it was Mad Men I was thinking about, but I thought I remember something different. I thought we watched something he was in.
yeah, 100%. I know
Patrick Fischler.
terrible terrible radio right now. Trying to find what he was in.
Barry?
Yeah,
Could be Barry.
Barry. Could be Barry.
Barry.
Monk maybe.
Not a big monk guy.
He's an old school too.
That's right.
Yeah. He
Maybe
was
that's what it is.
he was like the lackey.
Yes, he was. Wasn't he Jeremy Piven's
Yeah.
like secretary or whatever?
Yeah, he was the lackey. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Did we throw you in a dumpster?
Yeah, I got out.
Yeah. Another one, like, don't want to come off topic, but I mean, he could probably, I'm sure he's a fucking dick, but another one that doesn't get a lot of credits or stuff like that. Like Jeremy Piven's fantastic.
Jeremy Piven, star of Smoking Aces.
What, Smoking Aces 1 and 2.
One, the original. Please
Oh,
let the classic. It's not
oh
even a
man,
cult
what a
classic, it's just a classic.
great
He's doing
movie.
stand-up now. Or he started
Is
doing
he?
stand-up. I don't know if he's still doing it. Yeah, he had a podcast and then he was doing the stand-up.
Oh, good man.
Yeah.
He's great in Entourage. And even a better George.
Yeah.
Least favorites?
Who went last? You did. That's you, Ben.
Yeah, it's you.
Oh my God. Um, there's there's so few characters. Hold on, let me find her name. It's the cabinet member, the woman.
Oh, fun bags?
Fun bags. What I can't find your name. But yeah, I don't know. Something about her just annoyed me. Maybe it's her sucking her finger at
Oh yeah, no,
Camacho,
that
but
is.
yeah. I think she was like she wasn't Department of Education one, but yeah.
Nah, he
Ah,
Whoever
it's
she
left Linda
was.
McMahon.
that dude makes me laugh when they introduce him and he's like holding that thing and he's just like, don't make that the picture, Benny.
It's already done.
Damn it.
But yeah, I pick her.
Um, secretary. Yeah, she's not listed, I don't think.
I know. I've been trying to find her name on the cast list, but it's not there.
Whatever. It's my turn, isn't it? I'm gonna least favorite. I hate to do it to my guy, to Richie, but Luke Wilson. Just I don't know.
So bland.
He he it just kind of seemed like he just kind of phoned it in a little bit. Like, but overall, again, it wasn't, it's not a Wes Anderson picture,
Masterpiece.
whatever.
But you can almost kind of say too, like he's just playing like the average, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
true.
still, like I know what you're saying. Not very good.
And I didn't hate him. I'm picking him because he's my least favorite. Um, he was fine, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like if we had maybe a little more charismatic person in here, or he played it more charismatic, I might have liked it better. But you might be right that he's supposed to just be a blah dude.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's supposed to play. But
Who would you like more as the lead in this movie? Luke Wilson or Jimmy Fallon?
oh, Luke Wilson.
All right. So be thankful.
Okay, is that the only choice?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it could be somebody else. Stay tuned. Stay
Stay
tuned.
tuned. Stay tuned.
Uh, Robbie.
Yeah, give me Andrew Wilson as Beef Supreme. I mean, yeah, I need
Ah,
somebody better. I need somebody better. I need somebody bigger. I need somebody like Mr. Perfect to play that part. Kurt
Oh,
Hennig,
that would have been great.
right? Give me someone like that. Give me a failed. Give me Kevin Nash. Give me Scott Hall. I mean, give me somebody. Give me a failed wrestler, something like that. But yeah, it'll be perfect for. Give me Macho Man Randy Savage, please. Rest in peace, the King, Macho King.
oh,
Yeah, anybody but Andrew Sims as Beef Supreme, because Beef Supreme, I need somebody better with a name like Beef Supreme.
I mean, they were really scraping the bottom like that. That should have been Luke Wilson. Owen Wilson is the lead. They had to go all the way down to the third string for Beef Supreme, so that's probably the problem.
Yeah, I mean the CGI it was in this movie, it looks like they had a budget of about $67. So I don't even know who Andrew Wilson. Give me yeah, just give me
But
anybody.
Are we gonna I mean, we might make a statement here and say Andrew Wilson, best looking Wilson brother.
Ye-
And
I
probably.
I had no idea that was
Yeah, no,
his
that's their
brother.
other brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta check his face. I had no
He doesn't
idea.
look like them. He's just a handsome dude. It's the, you know what it is? It's the beard. I mean, let's be honest. Like that, the beard's been saving my ass for how many years now?
Oh, please, about 35. Oh my God, he is. Goodness gracious, he's doesn't look like him. Very handsome. It's the beard. It is the
It
beard.
is.
But
It's the beard.
I just feel like Luke Wilson is the same guy in every single movie, except for maybe Tenenbaum's different, but every single movie is just like the oh shucks, you know. I don't know. I kind of take it back now, Beef Supreme.
The everyman.
We got two parts in this film, and they can only be filled by Wilson brothers. Who can we get?
Quick, adopt someone.
Yeah. Uh, beef. I mean, I was gonna say Ani Mensch Beef Supreme just for the character name, and that's it. Like for a favorite, because Beef Supreme is a fantastic name for a gladiator. It's like Running Man-esque. Do you guys ever see Running Man?
No.
No,
Oh.
Next week, another movie that
no,
Robbie's gonna hate.
absolutely not. I'm done with these dumb movies. With these dumb movies,
Come on, Arnold's in it.
I don't give a shit. The only thing I'm watching with Arnold's Kindergarten Cop, and that's it.
Ah, please. That's a 10. That's an easy 10.
Fair.
I could probably do that episode right now, not even haven't seen it in the last 2 years.
Oh, 100%. Crisp. Um,
Scenes?
yeah, let's do it. Let's do least favorite scene first. Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Rob, you want to go first?
Um, yeah, my least favorite scene is 83 minutes of the movie. I do have two scenes. I can't pick them out. Two scenes that I enjoyed, but the rest of the movie was atrocious to me. So I'm gonna go with the remaining 80. I'll go with the remaining 80 minutes of this movie was unbearable to watch.
I mean, you gave it a 2.5. I can't blame you for that. Uh, Ryan, do you want to go?
Yeah. I don't know. I I didn't like hate any scenes. Like there's some stupid scenes. I'm gonna just go with when Luke Wilson first shows up, when Joe first shows up in the future and he sees all the corporations just and their decline into hand job places and just I don't know, terrible. Like the whole interaction with Carl's Jr. with that woman, she can't feed her kid, and they're just like, "You're an unfit mother." Like not because it wasn't funny, like it was pretty funny, and like anytime they would talk about the corporate, like the when they're saying about stuff, we don't have time to go to Starbucks and get a hand job. Like
Yeah.
that stuff's funny, but the reason I'm picking it is because I mean, the trajectory we're on, this would not be surprising. So
No, not at all.
I picked it because it's depressing to see.
My least favorite scene brought to you by Carl's Jr. Fuck you, I'm eating. Uh, was the the army research guy in the beginning of the movie
Collins?
when yeah, just out of nowhere walks into the
Right?
room with the two caskets and just drops an N bomb. Like the F word we can live within the movie. Like, all right, we look back, it's 2005, 2006, whatever. We can let those slide, even though we don't love them. But him just coming in and dropping the N word was just, I was like, whoa, eh, that made me feel weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. But hey, spend some time with Upgrade. I guess that's what happens.
I guess if Scarface come on the show, let me know if you gave him a pass, and then we'll reevaluate what my least favorite scene was.
Yeah, yeah. It's the early 2000s. It was a wild, wild west.
It was.
Vince McMahon got away with it, apparently.
Jesus, that was insane.
Do we want to
Um,
do any Honey Munches for this?
nah, that was a good choice.
I got nothing. We can move on to favorites.
Yeah.
Me?
Yes.
It is me. Okay, so my favorite scene, oh, there's so many. I mean, pretty much give me any Camacho scene, but my favorite moment of the movie was when they're shooting the shit out of Frito's car, and the one guy runs up with the RPG at point blank range, and it's backwards.
Yeah.
If I could shoots, and it takes out the plane, and the plane lands into the Costco later on. So that was just encapsulates how stupid everybody was at that point to miss an RPG at point blank range, which even if he shot it right, they were all dead. But just funny. Just like again, like those little how to find the way to make these people the stupidest possible version. I don't know. That one just made me laugh.
It's a good choice. I think you're right. Just about any scene with Camacho was enjoyable, although I do agree he was channeling sexual chocolate a little too much. Um, I think honestly, I think I'm gonna go with like the beginning scene and how it's like not that far off that that is a possibility if you kind of believe in that's I don't I'm not no scientist, but I don't think that's exactly how genetics works. I think dumb people can have smart children and vice
Right.
versa. Um, but the fact that the smart or the yuppie parents were just like, oh, it's not the right time. I'm not sure. Like the market, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up not having kids. And then the morons have a fucking million. Um, it's like you watch that and you're like, yeah, all right. I could, that's believable right now.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll pick that. I have a couple honorable mentions though. Robbie.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine. I'll
Oh,
just go
I'm
with the
sorry.
yeah, that was it was slim pickings again, bad mins. Um, I'll just go with the introduction to Hector Camacho, President Camacho. It was nice to see him on screen. Yeah, I thought that was fun. It did tail off. It did get me upset when he was pulling off the sexual chocolate repertoire, but it was nice to see him. I heard so much about President Camacho. It was about time I could put a name to a face. So it was nice to see him on screen, and I do love Terry Crews. So it was good to see him. Um, yeah, because after that, I think I just was ready to just go somewhere else and not watch this movie anymore. So it was nice to see Terry, TC as we call him.
Um, TC. Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Benny, you want to start with Ani Menches?
Um, again, it's not maybe a specific scene, but I loved the whole Brondo. It's got what plants crave scene when they were like trying to figure out like why it was so, like so foreign for them to hear, and they're all trying to explain why Brondo. And he's like, but it's got what plants crave. Yeah, but why? But it's got electrolytes. What do electrolytes do? It's what plants crave. So just them like that whole kind of who's on first type situation with the Brondo.
That's easily a conversation that could happen present day.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
100%, 100%. You just watch some of this stuff, like some on our street stuff. It's crazy, and corporations are nuts and stuff like that. So it was right down the line, right to a T. That Brondo stuff was crazy. How true to life it was.
If, okay, question for you guys. If a drink that currently exists were to replace water, which maybe you could argue it already has, but what drink do you think that would be?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
I was going to say the same thing. Mountain Dew, Code Red.
I was gonna say Fred Zessa and our dear leader's favorite,
DC's.
DC.
Uh, Coke Zero, though. I mean, all day, every day. But I'll
Oof.
take a DC.
Look,
It's the
Oh,
same
please,
thing.
I haven't taken a DC in 3 weeks, but I would take a DC. I have one like a Prez, like a great Prez.
You need a
Have a
button.
little Coke button, not for the white stuff, for the carbonate stuff.
That's Don Jr.'s there. That's
Yeah,
his lane.
exactly. That's Don Jr. Don Jr. doesn't leave his bag in the White House. He finishes his bag.
um, one one scene that made me absolutely crack up when I was watching it this time around was, and it was super quick, but when he saw the smoking billboard and the billboard said, "If you don't smoke Tarleton's, fuck you."
All the ads were very funny if you like paid attention to them. They were very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the
I feel like that was like they bit off of that from Talladega Nights with the Big Red. If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. I don't know if that was in the outtake or something like that, but I feel like they kind of bit off of that from that movie. That's who gives a
yeah.
fuck.
I don't think I've watched Talladega Nights beginning to end. I've seen enough of it where I know what happens in the movie, but I don't think I've seen it from beginning to end.
I remember not really. I remember like being like, this is too much for me. Like this is just like all over the place. In even like when I saw it in the theater, like now I probably wouldn't like it as much. I think it would be too much. Like, chill out, Will Ferrell. Chill out.
There always is a
I don't
time
know.
with those comedians that are on top where they have that one movie where everybody's like, "All right, enough of you." Like Kevin Hart and I don't know, Jim Carrey probably got there at some point. I don't know what I can't pinpoint one of his movies because he branched out a little bit, but everyone hits that high note and then they stay too long or they're smelling their own farts too much.
Maybe I feel like maybe for Jim Carrey, maybe it was me, myself, and Irene. Personally, for me, where
That's a good choice.
I was like, you know what? I think I'm done here for a little bit, just for a little bit. I need a break.
I like that movie.
He no he
But I get it.
it's just too much Farley Brothers, too much like the fucking when he has the cotton mouth and his jaw's like 55 things. It's like
Yeah,
all right, I don't need
fair,
this anymore.
fair.
But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I
And I
mean,
think
everybody knows your opinion's right always.
true.
Please, please.
Even if they
You
don't
know
agree
it.
with
I
you
know
right
we all know
away,
it.
they come
They
around.
They come around. They come around. That's the cuz. The cuz always comes around.
Yeah.
always.
You can't argue with the truth,
I
the
mean, I bought
true
a Sonos
opinion.
because of you.
That is true. These two speakers right here, one on one. Mine. I don't think you don't got these.
Oh, I do. I do. I actually have two. One's white because it blends in with the white cabinet I have in that corner, and the
Ouch.
other one's black over here because it's next to the black couch.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Maybe I'll replace the two whites to blend in with the white.
There you go.
Because
Everyone listen
white,
up,
like we said, is always right.
please. The opinions of Robbie do not represent Going Great Productions or Let the Boys Watch. Just got to get that in there. Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Robbie, if you get white speakers, I think you'll be the first person I've ever heard of getting white speakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Um,
And I'll be
well,
like, I think next week, because I've been really getting into like what we call it football. We don't call it soccer. We call it football. I'm really getting into Liverpool. So I think next week I might get a couple of Liverpool hats.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know how those work out for you if you like them. Maybe I'll check them out one day.
You should. I love that slogan. You never walk alone. Something that really near and dear to my heart. So check them out.
All
And
right.
maybe watch a documentary on YouTube or something like that. Let me know what you think.
We'll do. I'll report back next week.
Thank you.
um, where the hell are we? Oh, any honorable mentions for favorite scenes, or are we done here?
Well, let's just move on.
All right.
The end credits. When the
So,
screen went blank.
yes.
Did you
Um,
see did you see the after credit scene or were you just completely done?
Oh, I was off. I was gone.
might have changed
That's
your opinion on the movie.
that's when that's where my upgrade character came from because he shows up. He pops out of a casket at the end and he's looking for Maya Rudolph.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right, 2.7.
All right.
You guys want to go to Tahiti?
Let's do it, Benny. Take us there.
Well, Ryan, this week's first game brought to you by Carl's Jr. and Brondo is way gone tonight, Frank. Tahiti. It's a little game we like to play based off of Christopher Walken's character in Catch Me If You Can, his world famous line. It's just something that we find in the movie that is completely random, a pop culture reference or something that we want to shout out. Uh, it's really kind of carte blanche, something that we want to shine a little bit of a light on, something that's really out there in the movie. But for me, in this movie, as stupid and as crazy as it is, I need to shout out the narrator because what a set of pipes on this man. I mean,
Who was that guy?
I meant to look up his name and I forgot, but the pipes on this man were just fantastic. Like he can narrate anything. He might have taken this movie from like a 5.5 to a 6 for me because those I'm so glad I don't have the Sonos subwoofer because the walls would have been shaking in this apartment. So give me for my way going tonight, Frank Tahiti, the narrator. He might have went uncredited because he saw the movie and was like, "Please do not put my name anywhere near this thing."
Earl Mann.
Oh, what a name! He's
He's
all
got
man.
I feel like he was like his voice is like just synonymous with like some football stuff or some kind. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get a Sonos subwoofer, Ben. I mean, please, you should really start purchasing some Sonos stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think it would liven up your APT.
Yeah. Sports fans will recognize Earl as the voice of the NFL for his work for NFL films.
Oh wow, who would
No
have thought?
wonder.
Who would have thought I was right? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Right
Please go.
again.
Somebody go next, please. Somebody go next.
Uh,
Robbie, you got anything?
yeah, whatever. My way going tonight, Frank Tahiti is 20th Century Fox for green light in this movie. What are we thinking? What are we doing? I can't believe it. I feel like that if this can get greenlit, then I can do something and get something get greenlit. We can have a movie, I think, get greenlit about, you know, the time I fucking launched Benny into the woods. We can have that. We can have a redemption story. He gets back at me the next 30 years by doing stuff that annoys me, just by breathing, things like
Spilling
that.
spilling wine on your brand new New Balances.
Yeah, spilling wine on my suede New Balances, not once, not twice, but three times, and things like that. So my way going tonight, Frank, to Haiti is 20th Century Fox for actually putting pen to paper and ink and some money to this movie because it took a loss. I'm telling you, it definitely took a loss.
Um, my way going tonight, Frank, Tahiti, um, is, and I said earlier, I don't want to pick this movie apart because it's not a movie to pick apart. It's a stupid satire movie. But the one thing that really bothers me in this film is when Frito Pendejo is his full name, um, just I don't know, like what makes him think to like take the camera and like go down the row of plants and then everyone's so like so stupid, but they see these plants on the screen, they're like, "Oh, all right, he did it. Don't kill him."
Listen,
With
would
the
you need another
dildo
15
truck.
minutes of them figuring it out? Let's get us home.
I don't know, that scene bothers me. Oh, um, let's play our second game, working overtime with
Hmm.
Matt Damon. Because in this game, we cast Matt Damon in a role that exists or a role that we make up or whatever we want because we love Matt Damon. We want him in more movies. I don't think he's in enough movies. So he's working overtime. Does anyone want to start?
Well, Ryan, my who asked you? Who? Me? No, Matt Damon is give me a middle-aged, chiseled, ripped, shredded to the gills, some would say, uh Matt Damon as Sean Hannity, the shirtless Fox News host that was in this movie. Because I mean, I would have loved to see a little shirtless Matt Damon, and that would have fit right into the movie. Would have saved us time. We're not extending the movie. We don't need any extra back explanation. We don't need any backstory on him. So yeah, give me Matt Damon as 2505 Sean Hannity.
Good choice.
Good choice. My working overtime, my Matt Damon for this week. Please give me a charismatic, young, handsome Matt Damon. This is not a thinker. Just slot him into Luke Wilson's role and see if he can bring this up a little bit. I don't hate Luke Wilson. I just think he was kind of blah on this. Maybe Matt Damon would do better. That's all.
Maybe.
Trying to be nice, Robbie.
Nice doesn't get you anywhere anymore.
We know Luke's a
be lean
listener.
and mean.
I don't want to insult him.
True. Well, that was a good pick because that was my pick. So I'll just go a little bit better. I have nothing this week. The luster just went out of me when this movie ended. It just sucked the life out of me this week. So give me a lean, mean fight machine, ripped, shredded to the gills. I mean, forget about it, dick to the knee. Give me Matt Damon as Beef Supreme. I mean, forget about it. Imagine a villain like that in the Thunderdome. Matt Damon shirtless. Matt Damon in a Speedo. Matt Damon with go-go boots on. I mean, forget about it. Looking like a young Mr. Perfect, a.k.a. Kurt Hennig. Rest in peace. Rest in paradise. But yeah, just give me Matt Damon as a villain. I love Matt Damon as a villain. It's few and far between when you get him as a villain. He would have just went ballistic as Beef Supreme. I know it. I loved when he turned villain in Euro Trip. What a dick. He would have brought that up to 1,000 as Beef Supreme.
And in Interstellar too, he'll turn to the cinch.
Oh my God, forget about it. I never would have saw that coming.
I would have been coming watching Matt Damon.
As Beef Supreme, forget about it.
Go away, I'm baiting. Anything else that needs to be said about Idiocracy?
Let's release Robbie from this prison.
Yeah.
Awful. Dude, I'm awful. Two,
Next week,
20,
Robbie's
25.
choice.
Oh my God. Jungle Fever. Get me out of here.
All right, let's get Robbie out of here. Thank you for listening, for watching, for participating. Please, comments, messages, let us know what you think about Idiocracy. Are we idiots? I mean, we're not, but do you think we are?
Do you think the country is?
Yeah, yeah. Do you see the parallels here? Do you not? I don't know. Either way, send us something. Give us some suggestions. I don't know. We love you. Robbie, tell them good night.
Good night, America, and good night, dear leader.
Hey, we're gonna have a YouTube exclusive clip this week. It's a he said discussion of Ass, the movie. So join it.
Let the boy watch.